Some new looks at the Dih Rex might show it is in constant pain, and maybe it's not the bad guy, maybe we are. But anyway, credit to Angry Collector, the Switch Motion, and Kalupo Toys, as they've all gotten a hold of the Dih Rex. Kalupo Toys even followed me, and Switch even joined my Discord to show off some images. So thank you to you guys so much, because that's just so cool. You know, when I review, like, you know, I go over and check out your guys' things, and then you're checking out mine. I just really appreciate that, so thank you all so much. But yeah, they all show off the range of motion Dih Rex. Here we get Angry Collector attacking the Spino, and Kalupo Toys. They even posted this new AI video of Dih Rex. It's really funny. You can go watch it on their thing. I'm gonna tell you to go over there and watch it. But we do have a ton of other things in this video that's meant to take it more seriously, because this figure seems like it has a tragic backstory. Oh, clickbait YouTube titles incoming. Whatever. But you know, here we can see it next to Hammond Collection T-Rex. It's not as big as I thought, you know, but fair enough. You know, I guess the Super Colossal Dih Rex is going to be pretty big. But anyway, we see it's in constant pain. Now, you have two options, right? You can have the switch on, and when it roars, it shakes violently. It just, you know, keeps shaking. That was cool, actually. Switch Motion has the Titanosaurus, Dih Rex, Spino, and Mosa, so they put them all together. Kalupo Toys has the Red Rex. They've put that with it. Angry Collector also has like Spinos, Mosas, Gigas. We'll be checking it all out, don't worry. And also, I hope you like my drawings of the Dih Rex on the sides. I uploaded all of them to Twitter. I've got a grey version, a black version, a blank canvas if you want to paint your own Dih Rex. I know, paint a pink one, a blue one, do whatever you want. But those are my Dih Rex drawings on the side, because, you know, Universal's probably going to come after the Dih Rex toys eventually and maybe take them down. So these drawings are to avoid the takedowns, basically, because they're my drawings. So I'm gonna hope Universal can't really touch them, because I did make them. So, you know, of course they are based on the Universal Jurassic World Rebirth render of the Dih Rex that's shown on the packaging of this toy. But it, you know, I'm just hoping. It is my own, so I did put in a lot of work to make that and whatnot. I spent at least 1 to 2 hours on it. Anyway, can see the range of motion in the Dih Rex here thanks to the Switch Motion. You can see the leg motion, classic for, you know, mainline core line Mattel toys. Doesn't have too much, moves back and forth. The arms are cool. I like how one's a knuckle and then one's walking. I heard a rumor, I don't know how true it is. It might not be true, but it sounds, you know, viable considering what's happening, is that one arm doesn't work, and that's why it's stuck in like a knuckle position, because, you know, it just drags it along. It keeps moving with it. But yeah, you can see the Angry Collector pose it up here, and you could almost imagine it without those front arms. So it's just got the two tiny arms and the big legs. You could almost imagine it just being a T-Rex. And of course, take away the beluga, whale head, whatnot, you've basically just got a, you know, retro T-Rex, I would say. But here's what I'm thinking. How did Dih Rex get those mutations, you know? How did it get the bonus arms, the beluga head? Well, I've been cooking up some theories, and they're probably fried theories, like they've been overbaked. They're probably not good. But, you know, if you want some laughs, stick around. So, with all that frog DNA going into like T-Rex and whatnot, you know, maybe they're experimenting, because obviously we know things like the leucistic baryonyx, they put DNA into it to enhance it, to modify it, you know, just like in Jurassic World Evolution, how you enhance specific animal traits. What I'm thinking is here, this was early on, right? Just before they're building Indominus Rex, even before Scorpius Rex. So we go Dih Rex 2010, Scorpius Rex 2012, then they perfect it in 2015 with Indominus Rex. But what they're doing is they have T-Rex and they start enhancing, you know, genomes in it. And such as the frog genome, they enhance that. So, you know, you got the frog has the front legs, right? It doesn't have tiny arms like a T-Rex. Frog's got those front legs. So those probably grow out on the T-Rex, those front frog legs. But of course, because it's in a T-Rex body, those arms are much bigger than they would usually be. And one doesn't work, of course, because, you know, it's a bonus arm. But one does work, so it can just roll along. And even still, it can whack things with that broken arm. Or not even broken, just malfunctioned arm. But where does that head come from? Well, This sounds so stupid, but I was thinking, right? You know, frogs ribbit, and they've got that big bulbous, you know, ribbit thing. I've completely forgotten what it's called, but you all know what I mean. That the throat gulper that expands. What if that's what's on its head, right? It's been moved up, gone around the face, and it's on top of its head. So what if in the movie we see just bulbousing, right? The head of it going ribbit, ribbit, and you know, that's the Dih Rex. Of course, can't really take that seriously, and we're meant to feel bad for it. Apparently, according to Gareth Edwards, I believe he said, we're meant to feel bad for the Dih Rex, even though it is like a villain of sorts, and it's probably going to go around taking things out, and we're going to end up killing it in the end with Spinosauruses anyway. You know, there's still going to be things about, so I don't know. I could like try to go down the dark route, because what I'm saying is very stupid, but at the same time could work. Maybe that is why it's got the bulbous head. Maybe it doesn't ribbit. Maybe it doesn't go in and out. Maybe it's stuck like that. But maybe you can see like vibrations, because we do know it's stretched. You can see like vein marks popping out the side, like stretch marks on the Dih Rex. So obviously it's not meant to have things in certain places, but it does. It does. So, you know, maybe the ribbit, the ribbit thing is on top of its head, and maybe those arms are from the frogs. So I'm just saying, maybe this is a T-Rex amped up on frog DNA. So, you know, maybe in Jurassic World Evolution, could you imagine in Jurassic World Evolution 3, right? You go in, you start modifying genomes, and any genome you modify mutates the dinosaur. That would be cool, right? Maybe that's how you make Dih Rex in the game. Maybe it's exclusive. Maybe there are certain mutants, right? We do know there are certain mutants in this movie, like the Mutadon. So maybe if you enhance Velociraptor's genome a bit too much, it's going to turn into a Mutadon. If you enhance T-Rex's genome a bit too much, it'll turn into Dih Rex. Pteranodon, maybe a six-limbed Pteranodon, you know, then like Triceratops, Brachiosaurus, Velociraptor. Oh no, you know, how are you going to make Mutadon? Because you've already got Velociraptor, right, with the two-headed Velociraptor. You've got the Pteranodon with the six limbs. So how are we going to make Mutadon? I don't know, maybe a Chilibata as the base, considering we just got a Mattel toy as Strike Attack that looks like what could be a Mutadon. I don't know what it fully looks like, but it is meant to have feathers, a bit of a beak, and that's kind of what the Achillobata looks like. So maybe Mutadon is a mutated Achillobata. And of course we could get like things like Trike, Brachiosaurus with two heads, whatnot. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Credit to, you know, the people who showed off the Dih Rex. Watch up here for more. I'll see you later.